Hello, and welcome to Fragments of Stillness. It's truly good to have you here for another moment of pause, introspection, and calm reflection. If you're looking for content that brings meaning, stillness, and inner clarity, subscribe to the channel now. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m., we share stories and reflections that invite you to see life in a deeper way. Today's video is about a silent burden many of us carry: the feeling of being lost, the fear of wasting our time, and the anxiety of not becoming someone. Have you ever felt like you're falling behind in life? Like everyone else has already figured things out, and you're the only one still trying to find your way? We live in a time where everything moves too fast, where time slips through our fingers. There's a quiet, and sometimes loud, pressure to become something big, someone important, someone who makes a difference. We are constantly bombarded with stories of success, inspirational journeys, and motivational advice telling us, find your purpose, make your life matter. It may come from a good place, but the effect is often overwhelming. We start to believe that unless we find the perfect purpose, our lives won't have meaning. And in that space, between who we are and who we think we're supposed to be, anxiety takes root. That constant inner voice saying we're not doing enough. That heavy feeling that we're not enough. But what if the problem lies in the very question we ask? What if becoming someone has less to do with being big and more to do with being whole? I invite you to reflect with me on this through a simple, yet deeply human, fable. In a small village, nestled between quiet mountains, lived a young man named Eli. Ever since he was a child, he was told he needed to become someone important. The elders would say, "You're gifted, Eli. Don't waste your life here. Go find your purpose. Do something big." Inspired by those words, Eli left his village to seek recognition and meaning. He studied hard, worked tirelessly, collected degrees and achievements, and for a while, it felt fulfilling. But as the years went by, even with all his success, something within him remained empty. He felt exhausted, as if he were carrying an invisible weight. One day he returned to his village. He walked the same old paths from his childhood and sat by the river where he used to play. There, he met an old woman who recognized him and said, "Eli, it's so good to see you. We've missed you here. You used to help your elderly neighbor carry firewood, tell stories to the children. You've always been someone." At that moment, Eli understood. Maybe he had been searching far and wide for something that had always lived within him. This story reminds us of a truth we often forget. The pressure to be extraordinary can disconnect us from our most authentic self. Eli, like many of us, believed he had to prove his worth to the world, but he had already lived that worth through small acts, meaningful relationships, and everyday care. In today's world, we tend to confuse value with visibility, but true value often lives in the unseen, in the silent listening, the unnoticed presence, the help that doesn't get posted online. The idea that we need to discover some great purpose can become a prison, because while we wait for the perfect moment, the ideal project, the big calling, real life is passing by. Maybe the real purpose is not a place to arrive at, but a way of being in the world. With attention, with presence, with wholeness. This anxiety that so many feel, of wasting time, of not being on the right path, of not being important, is fed by constant comparison and unrealistic expectations. We see someone our age achieving something great and think, what am I doing with my life? But life is not a competition, and purpose is not a trophy. It's a deeply personal and quiet journey. Becoming someone might not be about what we achieve, but how we choose to live, how we treat others, how we take care of ourselves, how we face hard days, how we honor what we already have. You may be searching outside for something that already exists within you. Your worth might not lie in a grand accomplishment, but in the subtle ways you bring light to the world around you. With patience, with care, with truth. If this reflection touched something inside you, subscribe to Fragments of Stillness. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m., we're here with a new video to guide you inward. If you'd like to support this space of reflection, like the video, share it with someone who might be struggling with this same pressure, and leave a comment below saying, "Today, I choose to live with more lightness." Because sometimes being light is more than enough.